No, a lot of these girls, all they do is piss.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I'm a real squirter, and I went into it thinking like, oh, this is like
Do you
okay.
get offended?
I do. I do.
I should be getting booked for that gig.
No, I'm like
representation matters.
Representation matters.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to the MacLeod.
What's up, everyone? This is Billy Procida, and you are listening to the MacLeod. This week, oh my gosh, I have got on porn star Jessica Ryan having the best time. Due to our mutual ADHD, I couldn't even begin to list all of the topics that we covered, but gosh, do we go in depth on various fetish porns, squirting, her demisexuality, how to handle a porn injury, and what the fuck's up with all this step shit? But first, tomorrow, we have the Naked Comedy Show. Yes, it is back in Brooklyn. We are celebrating 2 years of top comics with no bottoms, and you can get your tickets in the show notes. Use promo code NOTOUCHING for $5 off of your tickets, and to remind yourself that there is no touching of other people, nor yourself at this show. BYOB, nudity optional in the audience. It has been so long since I've done a proper intro for all of you. So much has happened. I don't even know where to begin. Mark Robinson, GOP candidate for governor in North Carolina. Big time porno sex scandal, right? Somebody has deduced at CNN and figured out his porn message board user handle is, because he would leave a slew of comments with a whole lot of identifying information. But I don't really think that we should take what someone says on a porno message board as like a sincere opinion or policy position. I mean, those aren't real thoughts. Those are hard dick porno thoughts. You can't hold someone to that. What we should judge Mark Robinson on is for being a loser who leaves comments on not the porno video. No, the comments on a porno message board. Loser. And that doesn't even get into the whole him wanting to be a black Nazi thing. I'm just saying he's kind of a loser. That should be disqualifying enough. What else do I got here? Modest masculinity, which I don't think anyone's coined yet. TM, until I get to write an article for Mashable about it. Doug Emhoff, maybe not a bad example of what an emotionally intelligent man could be. Caleb Williams, who wears, colored nail polish on an NFL field. But I feel like we should talk about him as an example when he's winning games. My New York Jetropolitans, just doing great things. 2-1. We love that. Who needs porn when you can just jerk off to that Thursday night football game? Am I right? Oh, and at Hot Movie Night last week, we watched the Sylvester Stallone porno. Did you know that there's a Sylvester Stallone porno? Yes. Before he did Rocky, Sylvester Stallone was like low-key fucking broke and living in his car. And he took this like weird porno acting gig, to make ends meet for to feed himself. And look, with survival sex work, it happens to the best of us, right? I'm terrified for any of you to slip in my DMs and find out what my number is. But he takes this, he does this porno. It's supposed to be called The Party at Kitty and Studs. He's not the main-ish character. Like, he's not the main sexual character. They shot all these sex scenes with all these other, performers and put that out there. Whatever. But what happened was, after the success of Rocky, they recut the movie to be central to Sly's character, even though they didn't really have enough footage to like make that narrative work. So the whole thing doesn't make any fucking sense. I know it's porn, but this was the 70s. This is back when porn meant something. This was back when like porn had a plot and people fucked for a good reason. But no, it's weird. It's confusing. No one really understands what's going on. This is how bad it was. There's a scene early on where there's two babes, hot babes, kind of fondling each other on a bed. Sylvester Stallone, stud. He's like standing in front of the bed, not even looking at them. He's looking in a mirror at himself, but we can see the two babes in the reflection of the mirror. So we see Sly, like he's flexing. Then he starts kind of like pantomiming, feeling them up, but like he's multiple feet away from these women in the bed. He's making it look like an optical illusion. Like if you look in the mirror, it looks like he is feeling up these women, but he's not. He's like miming like a virgin practicing for a threesome. It's just so bad. It was so bad. They recut it and titled it The Italian Stallion, which you can watch at hotmovies.com. Use promo code manwhore when you sign up. Maybe you'll get some free shit out of it. I don't know anymore. We could do a fan whore appreciation moment. Shannon, are you listening? Shannon, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the Man Whore podcast on Patreon. I wish you had been there to share in our Sylvester Stallone roasting. But hey, go Michigan, right? Go Mich. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for supporting the pod. And you too can become a member and receive a slew of great rewards, including over 300 bonus episodes, behind the scenes bonus content, invitation to hot movie night, and ad-free episodes every week. The ad-free episodes, that's worth way more than $3 a month right there. So become a member today. Support the whore you love at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. If you have an iPhone, do join from a mobile browser or desktop to avoid Apple's 30% fee. Okay. And before we get to Jessica Ryan, I feel like I should do a more proper announcement. I've been doing this podcast for over 10 years, and it's about time that I share my knowledge and my logistical input. Yes, I am now getting into the sex coaching game, because truly it seems like anyone can do it. So why not me? Why not the whore you clearly like to listen to every week, who seems to know a thing or two about putting a thing or two in a thing or two? So if you're seeking advice, if you need some perspective, if you're trying to gain some help with logistics, maybe you just need to organize a gangbang, hit me up at manwhorepod@gmail.com to schedule a complimentary 30-minute consultation call. And now this week's guest, porn star Jessica Ryan. I want to give props to Honey House PR dude Michael Whitaker. Dude is 3 for 3 on recommending good guests now. He recommended Allison Ray. I think we can all agree a good decision. He recommended Jessica Ryan, who you're about to know is like going to be one of your favorite episodes like of the year, if not ever. And soon in a week or two, you're going to hear me with brothel regular Alice Little, also recommended by Michael. But yeah, Jessica Ryan, fantastic. This is a really fun one. We don't have to get too deep. We just had a fucking blast. If you need even more, I've got a bonus episode, I've got a bonus episode, a bony, to keep it easy on my mouth. I have a bony coming up with her tomorrow, exclusively on Patreon for my $5 and up members. But for now, let's go laugh out loud with Jessica Ryan. Enjoy ad-free episodes at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast.
Dude, I fucking fell when I was leaving XRCO. There's like this little stoop thing that like, it's a dangerous little fucking spot at this place. And I was wearing taller heels than usual and slipped, caught myself, but I like like slipped hard enough that the glue came like undone from my shoe.
Okay.
So these tall fucking platform heels, the whole fucking platform came off. So caught myself, but I didn't. So I fell and landed on my hand.
So
and I might need surgery.
I was gonna say, can you still pole dance with that?
No,
No,
not right now. I have an appointment with my orthopedist to see what's happened.
So what'd you do at the gig?
Well, I mean, like floor work,
Okay.
it's a thing. Yeah, as a feature I get away with a lot. But
Yeah.
like also like this last show, I was not in my opinion, my perfectionist opinion, was not the greatest because I was like really thrown for a loop. I was just like, I thought that like I could do it, and then I went at it with my hand and I'm like, I can't put any weight on it. So like even like doing certain things on the floor, I was like, well, this is hard. So it might be kind of taking a little bit of a break from featuring while I figure this out. I'm going to do hopefully physical therapy can make it a thing. But
what about shooting? Like, is that your like Hitachi wand hand, or is that?
Dude, well, so
Anytime I like hurt a finger, I go like, that's fine. That's not the dominant hand. Like, I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, like weight bearing is usually my left hand, and then my right hand like does the other stuff.
Yeah.
The only problem is like when shooting like girl is like I guess like certain stuff like it's not so bad. It's like if I put my weight on my hand because it's like these tendons that got fucked up, I landed here rather than like that. So better or worse, I don't know.
But does that mean like, oh, I got to switch to like the non-dominant fingering hand? Like,
yeah, it's been kind of like that. But
isn't it hard like finding a rhythm when you're using the other hand?
Oh yeah.
Like I can do it, but like I feel like she has to deal with me figuring that out for a few minutes.
100%. I have a very non-PC term for it, but
what is it?
It's my retard hand.
A great time to say I'm here with porn star Jessica Ryan. Why not?
I'm sorry. I apologize, world. I am an elder millennial, just shy of being a fucking Gen X. So,
oh really? Wait, I feel like we were like
86.
You're 89.
Yeah. So elder millennial. I'm like right at that cusp, and all of my friends are fucking Gen X. So it's like I'm like just Gen X through proxy.
Yeah. Well, I actually was thinking. So this is actually kind of parallel to it. So when you get like an injury, how do you like have to deal with that for shooting?
It's been interesting. It's been really interesting. I started shooting perhaps a little bit too soon after the injury.
Okay. And
it was like I had a boy-girl anal shoot scheduled, and I was like, okay, so like this hand is just pretty. Let's not do anything with this hand. Don't touch it. And so like with boy girl it was okay. A little bit harder with anal because like the prep of it, like doing like an enema, clean out, like all the stuff, like my fucking right hand does that shit.
Yeah.
That's not something that like I care to think of in the process, and like then having to go to my left hand and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm just like, it took me so much longer.
You have like a friend to call and like just
oh, help me with the butt prep?
Yeah, I feel like that's
with an enema?
That's like you can cash in a favor.
That is very intimate. There are some people that would be a fetish for them, but like cleaning out your ass is a whole other level. There are milk enemas in this world that people fetishize, but you
don't have like girlfriends in the industry where like sometimes you gotta like do a favor for each other.
I would never have anybody help me with
your
an enema.
Eyebrow just dip down.
Are you trying to get me? There's no video on this, sir.
It just went like full below the other eyebrow, and then you're like, I'm like malfunctioning at the thought of asking a friend.
No, that would never fucking happen.
Well, because I was also thinking about, when you're like not in the mood. I don't normally ask like typical porny questions, but this was like on my mind today. Where about like I think in terms of my sex life, I can be easily thrown off mentally. And if you're just like not in the mood, or some shit's gone down, or you're stressed out, you just got bad news. How do you handle that when you're like, and I have this anal shoot and I gotta go work?
Compartmentalization and a very high libido.
Okay. I mean, has that happened recently?
What
have you found yourself going like, wow, something like big, something shitty's going on, and I've got to put that aside for the next 3-4 hours?
Nothing of recent, but like it's happened for sure. There was like the long time ago, when my first stunt of my career, I had a mistake of he would be like between rebound / boyfriend.
Okay.
Like I would just call him a mistake. Like this is a thing that happens occasionally with bad relationships within the industry where they will try to pick a fight before you go to work. So I had to make a cardinal rule, and it was like it almost got to the point where it was like, if you talk to me the day of a shoot, like you can go fucking die, because like you try to like offset like the mood, because like people get super insecure and like anxious. And it takes a very special kind of person to date within the industry. It's just it's a great filtration process, but it's perhaps a little too great.
I mean, it's something like, oh, like they're feeling jealous about you shooting, so they're trying to fuck you.
Well, they don't even like necessarily do it intentionally. They just like they'll say something or do something, and it could just like set your brain off for the whole day. And I've seen it with like other people where I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's going on with you.
Like, unless you're gonna say, oh, you look really pretty today, don't fucking say anything.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this mistake of a human being, that like how far wrong it went is like I was kicking them out because it was way past that relationship, and they threatened to kill themselves, which is like it. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people where it's like, this is you calling for attention to yourself. And I was going to set to shoot like horror porn or murder porn, right? And so it was a little bit weird when they said like, oh, I'm going to kill myself, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool, just don't do it in my apartment. Make sure you leave. And so then I had to walk into the set where I'm shooting murder porn. And then like that was a fucking surreal kind of moment of compartmentalizing.
Because there's got to be at least 5% of you thinking, I hope that's not actually going to happen.
100%. And it was just like, we're working. And it was actually a really great day of work. I had a great connection with one of the performers, and it was amazing. And then there was that moment of where I like stepped back into reality when I left the door. And I was like, it was the weirdest fucking thing. That was the most stark compartmentalization that I've had.
Yeah. By the way, what is a good day of murder porn?
It's actually really fun.
I've never seen murder porn
because it's technically not legal.
I had somebody at a bar once. A performer was like, "Do you want me to send it to you?" I was like, "I don't know, I guess." And then when I got home, I clicked the link. It didn't work. I'm like,
it's good.
I'm fine.
Good.
I'm not going to follow up.
It's one of those funny worlds that we exist in. It's actually way less work than shooting for like kink. Kink is actually like legit BDSM, right? This stuff is so fake. It's like acting and like using special effects. And it's like, hey, are you comfortable? Da 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 da. Like the content of it sometimes like could have a cerebral effect of where you're like, okay, like, whoa, that's dark. The fact that somebody wants to jerk off to this. But like also the nerd that I am, I also know some of the nuance and the darkness of the human psyche and what triggers people. So don't take it personally.
I mean, is a lot of the easiness is like there's a little bit more like
it's acting.
Than the actual sex.
And it's fucking ludicrous. There was one that I did where I was burping to death. And like that was weird, and that was like, no, that makes zero sense to me.
I remember one of the earlier like porn chicks I talked to a long time ago. Like she only did like hyper fetishistic stuff, indie on her own. And so like I was trying to do my research.
Okay.
And I'm going around the website and I click on one of the videos, and I think it's like drunk girlfriend coming home or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like she stumbled up, and the fetish was hiccups.
Yeah,
so it's
a thing.
But like I'm giggling so hard, I don't know how anyone gets hard. Watch it because it's constant. I want to suck your. She's hiccuping mid blowjob, like it's basically a blowjob scene, and she keeps like hiccuping in the blowjob. I know it couldn't be me. I'd be too concerned. Like, what can I get you? Do we need water? Like,
right?
This could wait. This is fine.
I don't understand it. That's one I haven't met anybody directly that has that fetish. So one of the
things
has
admitted to having.
Yeah. So like I love like when I meet people with unique fetishes, because then I can be like, all right, explain it to me. Sometimes people can't explain it to you, but like I love it when they can, because I'm like, I just need to get it. Like and it's like I have friends that are like normal, but they have the weirdest fucking things they're into. And I'm like, okay, like I need, like, if you have like a particular memory of your fucking life, I need you to tell me, because like this just, it like my brain is sideways on this idea. And it's fascinating.
What's one of the more fascinating ones that got explained to you?
Oh, fuck. That's hard. Oh. It's a little sad, but also a little sweet. So like I will preface, like, fetish isn't always because of a type of trauma.
Right.
There are many reasons that somebody could develop a fetish, but I
believe you because you have psychologist glasses on.
I fucking love it. It's actually the major I'm going back into. But this friend of mine, I didn't know that they were super into cuckolding, and they kept on like, he has this, he's a great human but a little bitch attitude, and like is very opportunistic of like always trying to fuck. And I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to have somebody come over and fuck me, and you have to be there and watch it. Because he like also was going to help film a thing. So I was like, you know what? Let's put you appropriately in your place.
Okay.
And it turns out it's a fetish of his. It's not just me being an asshole and making sure to like put him like properly into place. And it turns out that like one of his ex-wife had cheated on him, and it's like his methodology of kind of like taking control of that again.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm happy I didn't traumatize you in the process. And like, and that was a good experience for you. But like, damn, that could have easily gone somewhere seriously dark. You know, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, note to self, make sure you know about like some of the traumas that some people have, just in case it triggers them in a bad way.
Yeah. Going back to some of the shooting prep stuff mentally, we're talking compartmentalization, if you're having a rough day or whatever, but and whether it's a tough day or not, generally what's some mental preparation you have going into shoots?
Oh, it's kind of like the ritual of it, right? Like, so even if you're going to like fuck, like you're not even like gonna go and like shoot, like it's not like you're gonna be listening to fucking NPR right before you get it on. Like you put on some fucking music, you do something that like gets you more into the mood. People that just expect to like jump into it, their sex lives are abysmal. It's all about the ritual of getting ready for it. So like I am ludicrous. I have to shower before I like have sex. I have to. If I have not showered and somebody's trying to hit on me, and I'm just like, it can go fuck off. And then, oh gosh. So it's like the makeup, the hair makeup, the showering, putting music on, just kind of like getting into the headspace and like being ready for it. I mean, it's because it starts like hours before even doing the scene.
Is that different for you than like pre-date prep?
It's actually pretty similar. I think that what I do for porn has enhanced my like way of like kind of approaching dating and relationships. Yeah.
Okay. And you're off dating now?
I am finally starting to flirt with a couple of people. Right now I'm really enjoying being single, but there are a couple of people where it's like they can talk to me.
but like, I mean, beyond just trying to hook up or something, or is that not your bag?
Oh, see, I'm not if I'm gonna hook up with somebody, it's probably I'm not interested in getting to know them.
Oh.
I am a demisexual.
Okay.
So, but I'm a horny demisexual. So like I think of like the classic trope of like a guy saying that like, hey, if I fuck you on the first date, I'm not interested in dating you long term. It's kind of the same thing. If I don't allow myself to emotionally bond to somebody, I'm horny as fuck and can fuck anything. Yeah. And well, not anything. Unfortunately, I do have a discernment.
Sure. And there's like a few laws or something.
Yeah, some laws and shit. I don't know. Let's just call it ethics, like being a good person. Yeah. I don't even think that laws should be the ones that are determining that. That's just being a good fucking person. Yeah. Like, let's not get it tilted. There are just ethical like understandings of what you would approach.
Look,
You went dark. You went dark in a very weird way.
lady, you're the one who makes murder porn.
No, I don't make it. I don't. I'm not the maker of it, but I have acted in it.
No, Bill, I didn't make it. I was just the instrument of it. Very different. Yeah, you sound like a hitman.
Yeah.
No, Your Honor. No, I was just told who to hit.
You know what? I have very much so the idea of like, don't hate it until you try it. And like knowing that it's a completely safe environment. And, you know, like I do find it kind of wild that in the land of credit card processing that they're like limiting things like hypnotism and like and I'm like, dude, no, I'm serious. Like, why? Like, if we know that these things are in fact not fucking real, like you can shoot it in fucking Hollywood, you can shoot it on fucking YouTube, but like if the moment that there is sex, then they're like, oh, well, it's real then. Like, no, they're not being fucking hypnotized.
It's all the nitpicking. I said it so much. The nitpicking of like the details per processor. That it's not even a universal thing.
Yeah.
It's so arbitrary. Do you know Lucy Hart?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I remember when she was on the show the first time, she was saying how like her college roommate was like on the board of like one of these credit card companies or something.
Okay.
And how he informed her how it was like they had a meeting to discuss stuff like what we're allowing, what we're not allowing. So it's like water sports. But again, it's not as simple as that, right? You know the chart for like each, you know, OnlyFans or whatever, and it says which ones allow which things. It's like, well, can they pee or not pee? And then can they pee on someone? Well, yeah, but not into their mouth, or what, right? Or they could pee, but just it has to be into the ether. It's so dumb.
Yeah,
it's so arbitrary.
But squirting is okay.
Maybe.
No,
unless you're in the UK. No,
unless you're in the UK.
Remember, because in the UK,
that's
didn't
right.
they like 8 years ago or so? Didn't they like try to ban squirting porn?
Which is fucking wild. But I mean, to be fair, and if this is pulling off the facade for people, I apologize.
Please,
like a lot of squirting porn is just for the fetish of piss, and that's what you can get away with. I mean, that's
if I understand correctly, sometimes if it's that day and we're not getting the squirt out, it's like, I'll be right back. Let me take a bottle of water and we'll make it look like
No. A lot of these girls, all they do is piss. Yeah. Like I'm a real squirter and I went into it thinking like, oh, this is like,
you
okay.
Get offended?
I do. I do.
I should be getting booked for that gig.
No, I'm like
representation matters.
Representation matters 100%. No, they're like I finally did a squirt scene because like for some reason nobody was booking it for me, and I'm like, I'm a fucking squirter, like legit. And then I learned that like all these girls are like chugging Pedialyte and shit, and I was on a set with a couple and they were just like sitting there, and like I realized I'm like, bitch, you're peeing. Yeah. I'm like, bitch, that is not squirting. And I'm like, God damn it. I've been doing this wrong my whole fucking life, apparently.
No, you've been doing it very right.
I know.
You've been doing it very... Did you find this out, like, by doing, like, say, like, a scene with them?
Yeah.
And like, you're in the scene, you'd be like, I think I'm being peed on.
Yeah, no, legit, I'm like, there are a couple of things. Like, I am book smart, but I can be very daft. Okay. Subtleties and, like, I believe people and like yeah, I know, right? So like when they're like, oh, it's a squirt scene, and then I'm like on set and I'm like, that's not like, okay, you can hydrate the fuck up and you can like squirt a shit ton, but like you see how the mechanisms, how they're doing it. I'm like, you're a liar.
That's bullshit. I hope you get more squirting scenes.
I don't know. I'm talking shit. They might not like it.
No. If anything, you're advertising like, I'm all natural. You're going to cut down your Pedialyte budget with me.
Well, you do have to hydrate a lot for those kinds of scenes anyways, because you will dehydrate the fuck out of yourself. So like, it's just like, even it's a fine balance, right? And then people are always just like, they expect it to just like happen for me because I still fucking authentically do it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't just sit here. Like, I can do a golden shower or like I'm going to really squirt. So you have to wait a minute because it takes me a minute to fucking get there. It's not just all of a sudden I'm like coming and gushing. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. So, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, I know it started with you, going off about credit card processors and hypnotism and consent and all that, all the good porn being taken out. It's like I used to be like big on, like when I was younger, really big on the incest porn. Then they stopped being able to really do it, and it was all step this, step that. I'm like, you are ruining it for me.
Did you like incest porn?
Yeah, I think that was like one of my earlier porn categories.
Okay.
That was like Napster days.
Okay. I want you to elaborate on your like incest porn fetish. Like tell me. I need to understand it more.
I mean, again, it hasn't been like my regular viewing in a while, partially because of the
tap
content
back into
available.
your brain?
I think I would need the content to be better again.
Look, it used to legit be taboo and not just like the norm.
And there's this chick, Rachel Steele, who like she just started doing more mainstream stuff, but she did like 20 years just doing all indie, doing like actual taboo porn scenes, like solo or independent. And that's who I originally found, like from Napster days. I found like her and Duma and whoever, even Sherry DeVille, before everything became steppy. I mean, it just gets laughable. Like I saw a video once where it was like it's stepmom with the stepdaughter and step grandma. I'm like, somebody must be related to somebody.
Yeah, no,
this makes no sense. Did all the men die?
I've shot a scene where it was like everybody was step. And I'm like, somebody's got to be like, this doesn't fucking make sense. And that is how they do that loophole of like, oh, so and so died.
Yeah. But it takes me out of it. Like when they add the step grandma, I'm like, for 3 tiers, it's like now you're just 3 ladies who kind of know each other. You're not not related.
Yeah.
And part of so I think as a young kid, so like teenage college years, when I'm really getting into porn, I went to boarding school, so I had some limited access in my teen years.
Okay.
We didn't have like easy internet access. I
Yeah.
didn't have it in my dorm room. So really the porn I could watch was just like, I would actually get into erotica just because I could smuggle that in.
Okay.
Right? Because it's just words.
Yeah.
Right? So it was incest porn and it was hypno porn. There was a website called MC Stories.
Oh my God, I fucking love them.
You knew MC Stories?
So MC Theater now.
Are those
Theater.
like the same people?
He's been around for forever.
I do follow MC Theater on Twitter.
MC Theater, yeah. No, okay. I've known them for the vast like pretty much for the majority of my career. Love them so much as people. So like if you want to support a good company, they are great people.
Yeah. I mean, they would be stories like, oh, someone put something in the water and now the whole town is fucking each other. Love that. Because I think it was the idea of it's people who are having sex with people they otherwise wouldn't. Yeah. Or weren't supposed to. Yeah. And I think I found that hot.
The taboo of it, right? Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of where the incest thing kind of comes into play. So I get that. Like I've shot a couple of like step incest like things where I think there was a scene that I shot for New Sensations where it was with Cody Steele. And it was instead of like what I call the Stepford Wives of like incest porn, where everybody's acting like it's totally normal, that you do this, and then everybody fucks each other because you keep it in the family, that you acknowledge the wrongness of it. And like that to me was actually kind of hot.
That's exactly what's hot about that. I don't watch that Stepford stuff because it's uncomfortable. Agreeable.
Well, and I know some people are really uncomfortable around sex, so they need the comedy component. But I'm like, I'm like, I guess to each their own, right?
It also can't be the, oh no, stop. No, like be like, oh, like I want to see you psychologically conflicted before you go, actually, no, I really do want to blow my brother. Yeah. Like I need to see you mentally struggle with it and then get there, but I want to see it on your face.
That's good taboo porn.
Yes.
That is good taboo porn.
Do you ever watch the old like 80s taboo series with Kay Parker?
No.
Rip to My Queen. That was like my earliest porn.
Dude, you're gonna have to send me some titles and I will look this shit up.
Oh yeah. Okay. There was a whole series. So there was it was Kay Parker and she was like this like OG MILF type and this like mid 80s and but it was like this is the era of plot and character development and lots of dialogue.
They had money.
They had money to rent the whole house and do a thing. The house didn't look like a mansion. It looked like a house you might have grown up in. Yeah. You know? And so like I think the first one had to do with like she falls for the son. Then the next one has her son's friend is tries to seduce his sister. And there's each movie had its own different thing. Okay. But I like incest porn or not, I like the old school. There's like a storyline, like maybe there's a quick sex scene up front and then it might be 15 minutes before the next sex scene.
I feel like though, like, I mean, like, granted, I don't watch the final product of what I shoot often just because it's like, it's not my personal fetish, but like, welcome to capitalism. I shoot things that are not my personal fetish. Yeah. So I don't go and watch them. But like, there's a lot of dialogue that happens. Like if you go into the land, well, I would say Missa X does do a shit ton of like taboo appropriate. Like I think I've shot some of the creepiest shit for them.
That was who again?
Missa X.
Okay.
So, and they're very dialogue driven. Like the scripts are ludicrous sometimes, but like in a good way because it has that character development.
I need to know the motivation. I need to know, why are we fucking the pizza boy? It can't just be you don't have a tip, and because you planned that. I know you did. You have money in your purse upstairs. You just don't have it on you because you want to get in that situation. But why? Are things going poorly with the husband? Is the sex bad? Did he leave? Is he cheating on you? Are you unmedicated? I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, not then there was sex.
And that's why I do a monthly thing in my Discord server with my Patreon people where we called Hot Movie Night, where we watch like an old school retro porn.
I want to fucking join.
You're welcome to join us. I will 100% send you an invite in the future.
I'm so into it. I'm actually trying to get back on my Discord. I have a sci-fi book club that I was doing.
Yeah. Side note, when I text Matt Slayer, I say, what do you think I'm going to like? Because he knows me a long time. I say, what do you think I'm going to find myself interested in about Jessica Ryan? And he goes, just one text. She has a book club.
Are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me?
I was kind of upset about it, to be honest. I was like, give me more. Alison Ray, he told me about the divorce stuff. I was like, okay, that's helpful. I can work with that.
I love this so hard.
But so one of the few rules for Hot Movie Night is we talk. It's like, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay, yeah.
You only talk during the sex scenes. I need to hear the dialogue.
Oh, okay,
Strict rule.
Okay. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, and I need to be educated in like old school porn as well. Like if I do it in a capacity like that, where it's not like me trying to jerk off, then like I think I can get behind it a little bit better.
Yeah. The other rule is if you're going to jerk off, just mute your camera and mic. I won't say I've never jerked off during Hot Movie Night, but I don't usually do it.
So if you ever see me muted, you know that I'm actually into the scene.
That is the joke I will typically make. Yes. No, but it's wild. Like you start noticing things when you're not like watching it in a horny way. Yeah. You notice shit like Deep Throat has a whole ass soundtrack, right? And like I've
never watched it.
You notice how silly the songs are. Okay. Because the songs are dumb and it's not very good music.
Okay.
But on Spotify exists the whole, and not like someone illegally uploaded, like the soundtrack for Deep Throat is on Spotify.
What? So have you done the Sex Museum out here?
Museum of Sex, yeah.
Museum of Sex.
Yeah. They're great. I'm actually, a clip of my podcast is featured in the Museum of Sex in Miami.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, no, they're great. I've got a good relationship with them.
Dude, I love it. So I was like, okay, there was a person that I shot with out here, and I
noticed you posting on Twitter about it.
Yeah. So I had to go and pick up a charger at Best Buy, and they were like, hey, let's shoot, da-da-da-da. And I was like, hey, I got to go to Best Buy, and on the way back to my hotel, there's the Museum of Sex. And I'm like, would you want to go on an adventure with me? And it was hilarious and time wasting. Like, and then when we got to the Museum of Sex, just the whole process, like the Best Buy and the Best Buy in Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to that one?
I mean, I don't go to a lot of Best Buys these days. I haven't had a DVD player in a while, but I know where it is. Yeah.
So they have these escalators. They're fucking backwards. And so this person, their handle's Soul Sucker. So they almost went down the wrong side. So they almost fell up the fucking escalator. And they fortunately caught it. And it was like, dude, I thought that was the correct way too. And I'm like, okay, well, you didn't die. Continue on. And I saw 4 or 5 people actually do the same shit. And I'm like, who's been traumatically injured by this? Because it's so reversed. So there was that, and comedy of errors there. And then going to the Museum of Sex, we did not give enough time to go to it because he was going to a metal concert after we shot. So we had a limited time, and it was like ticking down. And we're like, okay, they have all these like videos to watch. Yep. And I'm like, I wish I would have looked and seen recommended time to do.
It's not a quick visit.
It's not a fucking quick visit.
You want like an hour-ish, hour and a half.
We gave it that, but I am the placard reading kind of person. Yeah, I'm like, I want to read every little thing. And the games are cool. Mm-hmm. Like all of the things, like although they had this one that they were installing, it's like throwing a giant black dick at like a which was really interesting with my busted ass fucking hand. But
or the glory hole jerk off pop.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It's like whack-a-mole, but like dicks pop out of various glory holes in what's like a fake looking bathroom, and you compete against other people in different stalls.
Oh, I'm so offended. I'm gonna have to do this again. Like it was not enough time to spend there, but super fucking cool. And then I went and had good sex, so I was happy.
Shout out Museum of Sex. Go check out people. What kind of porn do you like to watch?
Oh, okay. So I would call myself a lazy fucker. So if there's not a partner involved, it's like I am aiming to get off as fast as I can, and like it's utilitarian.
Okay.
I really should like do myself.
Because you're demi, so you didn't probably get to know yourself emotionally yet, and you really most turned on after a good therapy session.
Yeah, after a good therapy session,
like,
then
I really want to fuck myself. Damn.
No,
I feel so emotionally bonded with my inner child. Oh, god, nah, that felt weird. Okay,
that's dark places.
Hashtag when rifts go wrong.
Dark places. No, it's just like I really like partnered sex. Like I'll just use a Hitachi for utilitarian purposes. Mm-hmm. And then my exhibitionist side, like say if I'm like, I love doing like Sex Panther and shit. Cause it's like, I think it's funny. I have friends where they'll be doing it like out in public. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like usually when I'm talking to these people, I'm like, I'm fucking jerking off with them. And
really?
So, yeah. And so like, and I have people like, I have a couple of guys that love calling me, and I love it because like, they're like, why? Like, sounds like you're actually doing it. I'm like, yeah, I can send you pictures.
Like, even when I've like been paid to do phone sex, like I'm doing it like in the green room of a comedy club, and then I'll be like, edge yourself for the next 5 minutes because I gotta go on stage for 5 minutes, and then I come back and go, okay, now you can come. Like I
love it.
That doesn't feel too much like work for you.
I mean, did I tell you that I have a high libido?
Oh, you did. I checked. Yeah, my notes. It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Note to self: high libido.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an outlet for me.
Okay. Do you remember what your like earliest categories you were into were?
Oh, right. We're talking about porn. Sorry. It's a tangent.
We got time.
So my categories. So group sex. So gangbangs are like just a thing. I love that like in all of the like sphere of porn for women that they don't do gangbangs as porn for women. Or I'm like, who else is the porn for? There are so many dicks surrounding a woman. So like that is porn for women.
You sure you're not a stand-up? That's a great premise. Is like whose fantasy is it to, like gangbangs? What guy's fantasy is to be? When I go to a gangbang, it's because like the options were not having sex with her or having sex with her with like 9 other guys around.
Yeah.
If that's the choice, I will take the other 9 other guys. But if the other option was like me and her and her man, like I would prefer that smaller situation.
There are guys that do like the gangbang, and I get it. Like, so, like, especially if you have, like...
I mean, I like that I make friends at it, you know?
It's true. The friendships you make at gangbangs is actually pretty solid.
I am in a gangbang group chat.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
What is this gangbang group chat? Like, what?
So, like, I think, like, a year and a half ago, it was the night Barbara Walters died. I remember because I had to work really hard in between rounds. I checked my phone, and I had the New York Times notification. I had the ADD blurter had to go, don't fucking announce this right now. That's going to kill the vibe. I wanted to, but so so it was December 30th, 2022.
Holy shit.
I will never forget when that woman died.
I love how this memory is like burnt into your head. But also like, so one of my jokes usually is like, hi, my name's Jessica Ryan. I like gangbangs. So like, please divulge more about your experience in gangbangs.
Oh gosh, you opened a can of worms.
I
wrote an article for Mashable, how to throw a gangbang. And then
How to throw a gangbang?
yeah,
Okay.
I've organized a few. Again, I'm not into gangbangs, but people seem to think I can make it happen, and I guess I can. So I have. Like the first one I put together was a chick. We don't hook up, but she's like an orgy going friend of mine, and
Okay.
she's like, I feel like you could execute this, and
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, sure, let's talk
Yeah.
parameters, whatever. So I pitched the article, they commission it, I write it, it gets fully edited, they pay me, and then they killed it, and we're like, actually, we can't publish this. I say, can I go sell it elsewhere? They're like, you can try.
You can try.
I have a Google Doc, almost 3,000 words on how to throw a gangbang.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so
That's amazing. But you were paid for it. You didn't have to give them money back.
correct. Yeah, I was very surprised. 100%
Hey.
kill fee. Very surprised. I got
Fuck
$600
yeah.
to just write a thing for fun.
And then you can still try to sell it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Burning Man?
No,
The
as you
orgy
can tell,
dome.
I run hot.
Dude,
This is. Have you not noticed how sweaty I am? Imagine me in the desert.
I know plenty of people that go out there that are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a great look on me.
Well, it depends on the year. Honestly, I would say burning regionals are way better than going to Burning Man. And like, I know some of my friends would be like poo-poo that
yeah, there's
idea.
some stuff upstate that like a lot of my
Yeah,
friends go
those
to.
are really cool because then it's also like you're glamping and you're not in misery.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of trauma bonding around Burning Man.
And I'm like driving distance home.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I like.
Yeah.
So I would
yeah.
probably do a regional burn. There's
do a regional, but they
I
have
think
the.
it's called Dark Odyssey is the one that's upstate. But
Okay.
yeah, so there's some stuff.
That sounds like fun.
At some point, I'm sure I'll find myself there considering the circles I run in.
Yeah. Well, I was bringing up the orgy dome that they have out there. Have you seen anything about that?
I mean, I've heard stories. I have friends who've been. I've read about the Orgy Dome.
Yeah.
And competing, prospective competing orgy domes and all that shit.
Oh, okay.
Someone going like, I want an orgy dome. I'll start one
Yeah.
because he didn't get into the first one.
Oh
you know?
God, that's a recipe for
Yeah.
something.
So, so Night Barbara Walters died. I'm at a gangbang that I found off of Reddit. And I got into whatever, and then he used a Telegram group chat just for organization and the timing, and here's the rules and whatever. So we go, and there's that night, and then like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months later, we get a message like, "Hey, we're doing another with her. So you guys are good, because you're all well behaved. You want to come back? Cool." Did that one that was like I guess last summer, and then earlier this year, I got we all got a ping in it from one of the guys, and it said, "Hey, any events scheduled coming up? I'd love to see everybody."
Oh my God.
I thought, don't lie to me and say everybody.
Yeah.
You want to see Jess. Like you don't care if you see me.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like there's a lot of like bro bonding in the process, is there not? Like you got to be respectful of each other. Like there's like not hogging, not being too close.
Yeah.
And like there's a whole process. So I mean it is kind of communal. I did before I got into porn, there was a gangbang group that I had found because I was curious because like I said, this is my porn.
Yeah.
And
And where do you find such a group?
where did I
Fet
find it?
Life or
where did I find it? It's before I knew about anything like Cassidy. It might have been Craigslist,
okay.
which seems wild to me. If somebody was to say that they found something via Craigslist, that would be crazy.
I mean, I did a lot of stuff off of Craigslist,
I
and
know.
now it's all on Reddit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was like it was like 2012.
Okay.
So yeah, like found this group and like I was like fascinated by how they organized it and everything.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but there was that point where I'm like, I could do this professionally.
Wait. So the gangbang was fun, or just like the checking out that world?
No, it was
online?
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
How big the gangbang? How many?
The biggest one I did was
Wait, let's start with how many gangbangs have you done?
well,
For fun.
For fun, I would say I did maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Like, because then I found porn.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I've only shot one gangbang.
Really?
Yeah. It's really hard to orchestrate having a gangbang.
I mean, I have heard the difficulties of just like setting up one-on-one content trades and how unreliable that scheduling can be.
Well, I mean, when there's pay, that's a different thing.
Okay. Well, like a studio show, I would imagine, sure.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it easier. I would imagine when there's like an office somewhere that's going to set it up.
Guys are funny about other dicks being around them.
Even in porn.
Yeah, even in porn. And possibly even more, because I feel like there's a lot of bullshit that the male performers have to go through.
Yeah.
Where like they have to it's not like really hazing so much, but like prove themselves with the less desirable scenes of like the group scenes, the blow bang scenes, et cetera, and it's like almost like the lower stature of like the performer pool is like you're forced to go through that.
So they have to like stand out at the gangbang to get move up to threesomes.
Yeah, that's
and
one
work
of
your
the
way to one-on-one.
that's one of the processes that people have to go through, and some of these guys just aren't into like group stuff. And like, and then like if you do like, even if you have like a boy girl scene, you shooting with another guy, that other guy can be like a lot, like the guys are very colorful, like, and they're just very colorful people. So then you pair two of these people together, and it can be interesting. They can be difficult with each other, and then you don't know if they're going to accidentally like come on each other. Like, I mean, there's friendly fire.
That's such a real concern.
Oh yeah. Like,
happens.
are they capable of controlling themselves? And then imagine being a dude that's carrying a scene because the other dude's wood isn't working that great.
Okay.
Like, there are a lot of reasons that it's like very difficult for guys like to do these things, and let alone to want to do them, and like want to deal with more of the people that like if they don't know them, they don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
And some of the people they do know, they don't want to work with them.
Yeah. I mean, because like there's weird guys who it's like they're just weird. It's like their essence is weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm standing next to him and he didn't do anything that I could write down. It's just I sense the
Weird.
vibe. And I feel like if I had his phone unlocked, I could find you a lot of reasons why he's weird.
I love it.
Like, you know?
I love it.
But yeah, the whole the vibe at the and then that's one of the tips I usually give is like if you're gonna put together a gangbang, you gotta book like at least a couple of ringers who are like sure things.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna have some people who like it's their first group sex experience, you want some people who can carry it or at least get it started.
100%.
Yeah, that's a thing. So wait, so what was your first gangbang like?
Oh, it was a blur.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, no, it was a blur because like dick drunk is real.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a point, like even just having like one good dick, like it's like a whole thing. But then having like many dicks, like there's just a point where it's like the like intoxication of it. I mean, like endorphins, like a motherfucker when you're like having that much sex.
Yeah.
Like I know, like even just like porn sex, like leaving set, like I have to make sure I've had water, I've had food, and I'm like I find ground again because like driving can be a hazard, like where I'm like it's just like okay, like it's I don't know how people would do drugs and porn because like I get high just shooting, and I'm like okay, now I have to be a normal human being, don't crash into things, and like now I can drive. So like gangbangs are like a million times more than that.
Yeah. But when you did your first one, like you hadn't been doing porn yet.
No, I hadn't.
You're finding it on Craigslist. So what's going on in your head like on your way to that first one?
Oh, I can't remember, to be fair.
No,
I don't remember. It was like exciting, but also like nerve-wracking. There's a lot of I don't know. Like, I mean, depending on where you come from in your sex education, you know, like there's a lot of gray areas that you're not taught about like safety.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know, how do you do this safely? So I do remember doing a lot of research and asking a million fucking questions of like, okay, like testing, like condoms, like all the things. I'm like, it's like, I want all of the above. And like, it was just, it was interesting, like having to go into a scenario of something so much when, like, I mean, I grew up Protestant, and it's like you fuck your partner, and then here I'm like, I want to do a gangbang.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do you do this safely? Because obviously I know that like things can happen, right?
And it wasn't like someone you knew who was organizing it.
No, I didn't know. It
Right.
was
So it's like
Craigslist.
the person you have to like rely on for safety the most, whoever's running is in theory in charge of everyone behaving.
yeah.
You don't even really know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but it was again like there's like a relative blur, probably
Yeah.
because of the general stress of it.
Okay.
Where I'm like, I want to do this thing, but like it's like I'm sure that like there's so many things that I don't remember because of the level of stress
Sure.
of going into it was so high.
Did subsequent gangbangs improve in that way?
They did, but I only did like 2 or 3.
That's 3 more. That's 3.5 more basically than everybody in the world. Like that's like most people don't do them. Some people just do one.
But there are a lot of people that do gangbangs. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
how the gangbang happens.
But like the fact that like when someone asks you
I
like
love
how
that-
was your,
I love that we're by the door.
I'd
talking
be
about
I'd
these
be
things.
more satisfied if I knew there was a cleaning lady right there though. That's
Oh my God.
because let them deal with it.
They were already here earlier. I got extra towels.
Oh well, squirter always need.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the scenario, you should always have a squirt blanket.
Squirt play. But what? How long ago was the last gangbang? From pre-porn, it was still pre-porn.
Pre-porn? Oh, well, so I shot a gangbang. Was it this year or was it technically last year? It was before I was injured. It might have been technically 2023 or it was the beginning of 2024.
Right.
There's
No major celebrities died that night that you can keep
nobody
track
died.
of.
Nobody
Okay.
died. No,
Okay.
no. That's amazing.
Is that something you think you're gonna try to do like personally or professionally again?
To be determined.
Mhm.
Like my adventures, I don't know, man. I've been getting more into doing like femdom and whatnot, and I've been like, it's so funny. So before I had taken a break in 2017, it was like a 4-year cycle, and I'm wondering if I'm on the 4-year cycle again, where there was a point where I started fetishizing intimacy rather than like the adventure. And so like I'm kind of getting back to that where I'm like, okay, I've gotten my rocks off and like I'm going like the things that are psychologically getting me off is more like femdom, like cuckolding and just like, other things, and then just fetishize the intimacy with a partner.
The intimacy is so, I'm like such a big heart slut and like
Yeah,
I'm
same.
big intimacy is like my kink, but the thing is with the whole demisexual label or whatever, I go like, I don't know. My understanding was like, oh, I wouldn't be able to really easily get sexually aroused. It's not that I can't have sex and enjoy it when
Yeah.
I'm not have that connection, but the connection makes it so much better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be love. It doesn't have to be even romantic, but like,
connection.
yeah, that's the better sex. That's when I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like, I'm not worried what my dick's going to show up for that. Like, I know that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So for COVID, when like everybody was like locked down, I actually had like a germ pod with some friends that like we all just fucked each other.
Is that what we were supposed to call them?
That's what I called it.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
so
know.
cool.
I called it my germ
The
pod.
germ pod.
And because like we had to go into it. So one of them like had access to getting rapid COVID tests before they were a thing.
Mhm.
And so we just were like, okay, like we're going to do this party. We're going to like do Molly and we're going to fuck. But so let's first test COVID, make sure we're good. And we're all going to know that like we need to isolate for a couple of days after just in case, and then retest before we're around other people just because of the degree of exposure. So we had this little germ pod where we'd like, it would almost be like quarterly fuck fests.
Yeah.
Like, because that was another, like, I love being single. Like, the adventures that I get into are pretty amazing. But
But are you non-monogamous or?
I would say I'm monogamish.
Okay.
I am especially emotionally monogamous.
Okay.
I don't have the insecurities of like if like my partner was to be with somebody else, but there would have to be some like mutual kind of thing. But if my partner is like monogamous, I'm okay going in that direction too.
Okay.
Because it's like ultimately I don't want to be seeking for anything outside of my relationship. But if we want to like have things that's spicy and do whatever beyond our relationship, I'm chill with it. So it just depends on the relationship.
Okay. But you're so you're loving being single, but you're feeling like we're starting to talk to a couple people.
I'm talking to a couple of people.
You feel ready to get connected again.
Yeah, and it's it's another trend. I'm talking to a couple, which I have a tendency to unicorn.
See, now
often.
the eyebrow went up.
Yeah. And not down. I wasn't furrowing
when you
at
weren't disapproving of me, it popped up.
Did it get too loud?
No, you're great.
You're like, turn that shit down, bitch.
No, I just like to futz with it and pretend I know. I'm not Matt. I pretend I know what I'm doing, and he like really knows
what
the
he's
science
doing.
of his sound waves.
Oh, so you're playing like fake DJ.
Yeah, I mean, I know don't let it go to red, and I know don't let it go too low, but I don't know.
Oh, I wonder if you just got my burp in there.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I'll text you when I go to edit it, and when I got the cans on, I can hear it closely.
I hope so.
Sometimes you catch a little thing. I caught a squirt on mic once, and then I was able to like circle the sound wave.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was great.
That's amazing.
It was a good Instagram post. I'd be like, this is what a squirt looks like orally.
That's amazing. All right.
Well, Jessica, before we go, where are you at? You've done these cycles of like working in porn, taking a step away, do some school, go back in the porn.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're trying to go. You said go back to school, or where you're about to.
Yeah.
You said you're going to major in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So to be determined on how it all is going to go. I am still currently shooting, but I am working on setting up my business so I can be pretty insular, so I can get back into schooling, because it's hard to do studio stuff and like have a schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's almost impossible. So I was working on my cultofjust.com, and that I'm going to be doing some adjustments to. But that I will be maintaining. And then my fan page is like cultofjust.vip, which I'll be like, I wish OF was more kink friendly and just like not so fucking weird. So I'll be having to do more fan platform stuff, which is all super conducive of me staying at home and working on my own shit. Which, I mean, it's like, hey, fetishizing intimacy.
Yeah.
Like it's making it more intimate. So it's kind of following the path of which is like, gets my rocks off. So
you see yourself eventually kind of phasing out with porn into some other career?
I wouldn't say, well, yeah, I mean, I think that the fetishizing intimacy is going to, like, it's something that's really digging in. Mm-hmm. And I've had my adventures.
Yeah.
I would love to take my adventures and try to have a positive imprint on for sex and human sexuality in the professional world. Mm-hmm. Because hey, I've got my rocks off. Now it's I want to cuddle fuck. I if I could cuddle fuck every day, that's my shit. My exhibitionist, I'm sure, will never fully go away. But yeah, I've had my fun.
We need some holes filled. It's here in my heart. That's where we need them filled.
Nah,
I get it.
I love myself.
Yeah.
I love my friends and I love myself. Having a relationship isn't really my focus, but it would be interesting. Maybe it's going to be fucking couples for a while.
Okay. And are you at all worried about going back to school? People, I mean, I assume you would be going in person, or are you going to do the virtual online school thing?
I'm going to try to do a lot of where it's hybrid or online, just because parking is stupid and going into classes is stupid.
Okay. But, would there be any concern about people recognizing you?
I mean, I wouldn't say concern, but I would say possibility.
Well, no, of course it's a possibility, but I guess if it's a possibility and it doesn't affect you at all, then whatever. That's why I ask if there's concern.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I may be surprised at some point in time of how it could negatively impact me, because I mean, even with friends groups of people that are supposed to be sex positive, people surprise me sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody has their weird preconceived notion about what porn is or what sex work is, and they immediately project it on you if they haven't addressed that thought.
Yeah.
And so I am always a little bit guarded around that stuff, but also because of that, it's kind of and I've seen it with people where it's they wear it completely on their sleeve and with the middle finger, and to be determined how it goes, because I'm also a pretty private person if I'm an introverted when I go into the real world. So I don't know. I'm sure that there will be challenges, but I'm not concerned.
You don't really give a fuck. You're go ahead and no, I don't care.
Yeah.
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 All right.
You have to have that mentality if you do porn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Jessica, this has been fun. Thank you so much for, making the time. I know when you were all like checking the time, it's like, because it felt long. I looked at it like,
dude, it felt like a long fucking time.
At that point when you asked, we'd only done like 59 minutes.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. But
Okay.
like we're all over the place.
We are all over the fucking place. Well, and then it doesn't help that the sun keeps on getting covered by the clouds where I'm like, I don't know what time it is.
Well, Jessica, this was a blast. Where can people go to find you, follow you, check out your work, watch murder porn, I guess?
Not watch murder porn.
Don't watch the murder porn?
I don't produce any of it.
Would you do you think you'd get into, speaking of intimacy kinks / the femdom stuff, some sort of like hypnosis type category?
It's
got,
unfortunately
again, to look for it.
I know. Unfortunately, in the world of like credit card processors, they make it very difficult.
Sure. But then we'll stick with the murder porn. Where can people go to find you? Follow you?
That's not even something.
I know.
Yeah. Well, so you can find me on Twitter or X. It's fucking Twitter. I
dead name tech companies. That's I dead name tech companies.
Dead name them?
Yeah.
It's Love Jessica Ryan, LOVE Jessica Ryan. And then Instagram is LUV Jessica Ryan, because this is not my first account. And then Twitter or TikTok is LOVE Love Jessica Ryan. I kept
LOV love?
LOVE. Okay. Excuse my ass.
Gotcha. Yeah. Also, I've had to get to the point where I'm Billy is Presida on Instagram, because you lose accounts, talk about a little bit of sex, and then if you have a dad who's got the same name, accounts get taken up the easy ones get taken up real quick.
Really?
Oh yeah. And then there's another person just squatting on Billy Presida. It's a whole thing.
What an asshole.
Yeah, what an asshole. And then how dare my dad, try to have a social media presence.
Is he really?
I mean, The Office made him a thing, and then he's got his stuff or whatever. He doesn't know anything.
Oh my God.
But
that's amazing.
People check out and then also cultofjess.com is the website, right?
And cultofjess.vip is my fan.
Yeah. And folks, you'll find that all in the show notes of the website. You'll find the show notes of the episode. Jessica, this has been so much fun. Why don't you go ahead and say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye. How am I supposed to say it like in a fun way? Because I don't know.
It's however you want to.
What was Ron Burgundy's sign off?
You stay classy, San Diego.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Wait. Don't go just yet. I know you can. Hey, whatever's in your queue can wait just like another 90-ish to 200 seconds. I've got more Jessica Ryan. You can hear more of her in like a minute. Just let this play out. I'm going to play a little teaser of me and Jessica in just a little bit. A reminder that my coaching services, my perspective, my ample years and ample hours of experience, dating, fucking planning out crazy scenes. My knowledge is now available one-on-one to help you with whatever you are struggling with. And by the way, I'm not too full of myself. If I don't think I can help you, I'm not going to take you on, and I'll recommend you to someone who can. But my coaching services are now officially available, and you can inquire further at manwhorepod@gmail.com. Not for nothing, one of my clients right now over the weekend had her first threesome in her late 50s. What? I helped her do that. manwhorepod@gmail.com. You can also send me your comments, your questions about the show, your criticisms, your titty pictures, all accepted over there in the inbox. I've got a bonus episode coming out with Jessica Ryan tomorrow, exclusively on Patreon. That will be available for all of my $5 and up fan whores. And I'm going to play a little teaser clip for you so you can get an idea of what's behind the paywall. And yes, stay tuned for a potential Jessica Ryan hot movie night appearance. Don't you want to watch porn with a porn star? Come on now. Folks, I love you all so much. I've been having a bit of a time, but it's always a relief getting up here on the mic to talk to you every week, share my conversations, share my stories, share my thoughts on things going on in the world. It can get lonely sometimes out here, deep in Bushwick, especially when the L train goes down because someone jumped in front of it. But when I get on this mic, I feel like I am with friends. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank Aaron Rodgers for giving me some hope in my life. And I want to thank all of y'all who choose this week to stay slutty.
So I went I think it was a Christmas, and I was single, didn't want to go see my family, and I have a friend that I know who is Jewish that lived in Pittsburgh. And I was like, "Hey, what are you going to be doing?" He's like, "Nothing." And I'm like, "I want to come out and visit." It has like a really cool house out there, super like just a great person and like I'm like, "I'll come out and spend Christmas with you."
Yeah.
So we went on adventure, and he had taken me out to he recently fucking reminded me what the fucking name was, but it's just not there. But to this town that is like just outside of Pennsylvania, right? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I'm like,
Pittsburgh's at it's right on the edge of Ohio.
Yeah. So there's just like mining town.
Yeah.
And there's like this adult store. It's like a brick store. There's like this weird empty lot near them. And it's just all like, I mean,
it's always an empty lot, and yet there's always dicks inside.